Hey everyone, it's Chad. Welcome to Maker's Bench. So one of the things that I've been playing with while I've been printing is I've been noticing that, not noticing, but one of the things that happens to me is when I go into my slicing software and I bring my part into the slicing software, it's too small. It's really tiny. And so the reason that happens is I like to design in inches because I'm familiar with inches. Metric is, perfectly valid way to design. I have no problem with it, and I do design in metric when I think about it, when I make an effort to do that. But a lot of times I design in the old imperial system in inches and stuff like that. And what happens is when I go to slice the part that's in inches, the units, and typically in CAD software like Inventor or Fusion or whatever, units are basically the default units are metric. They're in millimeters. And what happens is when you switch your unit system over to inches, in the background it does the math, and you put in your units and it does a conversion and it lets you know how big that thing is. So what happens when you export your model from the CAD software and your units are still left in, when you design in inches, what happens is something that's 4 inches long, when you brings it into your build plate in your slicing software, it becomes 4 millimeters long, so it becomes very tiny. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the computer here and we're going to talk about that, and we're going to go through that a little bit, and I'm just going to show you how to make sure that your prints come in the right size when you put them on the print bed, so that when you print, they come out the size you expect them to come out. So let's go to the computer. Okay, we're in the computer now. I'm like in the computer. There I am. Anyway, so we have our little tractor I did the other day, and so what I'm going to show you here is in Fusion, I am working in inches. So my inches, I'm going to show you what happens when you export this as an STL, and you're still in inches. You hit export. Oops, I don't want to export. I actually wanted to save as STL. So we're on a low refinement. We're going to hit OK, and I'm going to go here to whatever, printing, Tractor STL, save. Okay, now I'm going to go to Slicer, and I'm going to add, not that, I'm going to add printing to Tractor, and well, bam, where is my tractor? I don't even see it on here. Oh, you know why? Because I'm in preview. Wow. I was doing another project. Anyway, I haven't sliced it yet. That's why I couldn't see it. That's another thing. So when you bring something into Slicer after you've been working on other stuff and you can't find it, it's probably because you're still in the preview tab and it's not sliced. So here's this little tractor. By little tractor, I mean it is little. So it is probably too tiny to print. I really don't think that's going to work well. So what I'm doing, I'm going to delete that. What I do to fix this problem, you can do some other stuff. You can scale up the part inside the slicer. You can do the math, and you can scale it up from millimeter to inch and whatever. But I find that it doesn't always really come out to be exactly right. So I like to do this. I go back to Fusion. Having a good day. I go back to Fusion, and usually what happens is I slice it, I bring it in, I go, oh, it's too small. So then I have to jump back into Fusion. I come up here to my units, and I select my units. I go down to millimeter. I hit OK. Now my units are in millimeter. Now when I hit Tractor, save as STL, it's going to pop up again. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to hit Tractor, save, and yes, I'm going to replace it. And I'm going to bring it in the Slicer again. And this time, it is bigger. And there it is. That's all you have to do. So really, the only thing I'm trying to show you here is, because when I first saw it, I wasn't catching on. I didn't know that it was just a matter of switching my units out over in Fusion. But all I have to do, and you can switch your units back and forth when you're designing. And the only thing is, If you switch to millimeters, then you go back and you try to do something in inches, and you want to make something 3 inches, and it only goes a little tiny bit. It's because you're still in millimeters. So you have to remember to switch it back. But that's about it. You know, the unit measurement stuff, it's all kind of a generic thing. So you can switch back and forth between millimeters and inches and hit OK, and you're still going to be, nothing changes, nothing moves. It just does the math in the background and allows you to do that. So. Okay, well, that's all I have for this time. I hope you found that to be useful. I hope you found it to be encouragingly easy to get things off from Fusion into Slicer, or whatever your slicing software may be. So if you have any questions or comments, down below is that comment section. Go ahead and put those in there. I love hearing from you. I love the questions that I've been getting, so keep them coming. I do appreciate it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Like the video, dislike the video, whichever you prefer. And hopefully we'll see you next time. Thanks.